Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm so excited to introduce you all to Nellie Harden. We're going to just have a conversation today. She and I were chatting over the weekend, and she let me know a little bit about what she's up to and has been working on. And I was so intrigued. I wanted to know more about it. And I know it can apply and be relevant to so many people that I know that I was like, let's just have a conversation on Facebook Live and share it with everybody. So Nellie, thank you for being here. Just a little bit of background. I had the opportunity and pleasure to meet Nellie through a mutual business that we both work on together. Gosh, is it a couple years now? Maybe three?
Like 3 or 4.
Yeah, we got to go through the Brave Leaders program with Brene Brown, and it was such an incredible experience, and I was so honored to go through that with Nellie. And so got to know her really well during that time, and have been following her on the other side of the country through the years, and really excited to talk about what she's been up to. So Nellie, welcome. Will you just tell us a little bit about yourself, your family,
Sure.
what makes you happy, inspires you?
That's a long list. So yeah, I am on the other side of the country. I am over in North Carolina, very small little coastal town. In fact, that hurricane that just hit on the East Coast, literally the eye hit my little small town. It was quite a bullseye. And but we're doing okay, and thankfully everyone is on the mend. But yeah, so I grew up in the Midwest, went to school, actually have a degree in biology, and was in marine mammalogy for a while. And I had a bunch of different careers in there. Married my husband when I was 22, and we have 4 beautiful daughters who are between 10 and 15. So just signed my oldest one up for driver's ed, which made me like feel super old and weird. But that's kind of a little synopsis of where I am. We love to be active and ride our bikes everywhere we can and walk everywhere we can. And we travel in the RV when we can. And so that's a little bit of in-depth on me.
Awesome. And you own like multiple businesses too. You've been involved in a couple different efforts.
Yes, we own several different businesses, which was kind of funny because, like I said, I have a biology degree. And so I never in a million years would have thought that I would own a business or go into business. But it really kind of all fell into place because all of my careers, it started with me being in marine mammalogy, and then I went into veterinary work, and then I retired from that when I got pregnant with twins, because veterinary work and pregnant with twins don't mix.
Yeah.
And then I got into, because of our own personal health crisis in our family, and we almost lost my husband to heart disease, congenital heart defect, actually. So anyway, I had to then wrap myself around wellness and how to make sure that my husband and myself were okay. I also had a heart condition, and since his was congenital and genetic, then I needed to make sure that our 4 children were okay too. So then that wrapped me around wellness, and I worked so in depth with it for 4 years that at the end of it, I just felt like I had to open my own practice because I had learned so much of it in the past. So that was a career from left field that I'm very blessed to have had. And then over time, my love for the environment and marine life came out more. And we own a company called the Sea Glass Company, in order to reduce single-use plastics and clean up our oceans and our world as a whole, and just bring more awareness. And because we're so much involved in quality family time, we have the RV, and we made that into a business as well. So all of these things just kind of wrapped up, and it dawned on me about 3 months ago that actually they're all connected, and I love teaching families. And I was like, oh.
I love that.
That's what I do. I'm a family educator. And so, yeah, that brought me along to, what we're going to talk about today and where we've come.
Fantastic. So Yes, we are going to talk about a new course that you have put together that you're offering online.
Yes.
Tell us about it. What's it called? What is the purpose? What inspired you to put this together?
All right, well, that really picks up right where I was just talking about too. So I realized that I love teaching families. And when we really think about it, everything important starts back when we are at the family level, right? We're living in the family unit, all of our, and, you and I met through Brene Brown. I love personal development. I live in personal development every single day. And but anyway, a part of that was really learning about where our beliefs come from, and our beliefs in the world and our relationships and education and ourselves and what we can do and what we can learn and what we're capable of in the world are really set back when we're very young, which surprised me a little bit, just because I've come so far just because I think I have dove into personal development so much as an adult. But when things are solidified when we're a child, that really is the prime spot to then have education and flourishing happen. And so when I realized that all of my endeavors, all of my passions, all of my loves are actually centered around the family unit and educating and supporting that family unit, that's when my platform WePossible was born, because I do believe that anything is truly possible when people come together with a common purpose and a positive common purpose. Hence, when we come together and WePossible. So that's really where that came from. And I believe that a positive experience can change a person's life, and in changing a person's life can then in turn change the entire world. Right. And so I kind of stepped back and looked at all of the challenges that face us today, all of our real big challenges that face us in the world. And it really boiled down to 8 things. And I asked people and I questioned people and I was like, is there anything outside of these 8 things? And they're like, no, I think it all kind of fits in there. And it's, it's education, environment, and community and quality time. And then we have wellness, and then that whole piece on ambition, courage, and ingenuity. And then finances and faith and serving others. So those kind of 8 areas. And I found that actually everything that I do in life, from schooling my kids to, serving at the local schools or wherever that is, it all fit into those categories. So that's where I centered this entire thing around. And then what are we facing in the world right now is an education crisis, just because of what's going on in the world. And there's no way to slice it. 2020 is a weird year and it's going to be in the history books as a weird year. No one saw it coming, at least not the general public. No one could have prepared for what it would be and the fallout would be. And our children are kind of, the bystanders of all this. And us parents are left trying to make these decisions that there's no good decision to make, right? Whatever decision you make, there's going to be some negative side effects. So education, the challenge of education, is definitely where I started. And that is where my course, School from Home 101, came from. So that's really kind of where it came from. And I've been homeschooling for 5 years. I will say, my husband and I are public school kids, like K through 12, public school kids, right? Yeah. And I never in a million years would have thought about homeschooling. It was just this path that we were on with my oldest that kind of just percolated into something more. And I was like, what if, right? And we at that point were thinking about moving across the country anyway. And it would have been a good, if that's changing, we might as well change everything. So,
right.
And so that's what we did. And I decided to give it a try. And I came in not knowing a single darn thing about what I was doing, how I was going to run this. I thought I wasn't qualified. I didn't think I had the time. All of those things that every single parent in America has been saying to themselves right now, right? I don't have the time. I don't have the patience. That is probably the biggest thing that I hear, is I don't have the patience. Yeah. And so over the last 5 years, I've I don't have patience. Let me just say, I don't, my kids will be the first to tell you, and everyone's like, oh, you homeschool 4 kids, you must have the patience of an angel. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, no, I don't. But what I've learned to do is put systems in place so I don't have to test my patience. My patience is not what lends, the positive or negative day. It's the systems that we put in place that says whether we have a positive day or not. And if we don't, it's because we didn't follow the systems that we put in place. And every home is going to be different. Every parent is different. Every student is different. But there's some basic systems that you can put in place that can be overlying for everybody, because you mix and match it to whatever it is. And that's where the course comes in. The course is really a course for parents or whole families to sit around and really learn how this can be a very positive experience, and how we aren't going to be testing patience of the child or the parent, and how you can leave the day and be done with school. You can make that separation between school time and home time. You can make that physical separation between school time and home time, right? Because you don't always want to feel like you're in school, right? You don't want to be sitting at the dining room table and being like, there's all my school stuff, or in your bedroom getting ready at night at the end of the day and be like, there's all my school stuff, right? And same as a parent, you don't want to be inundated with all of that too. So the course is a course of systems that you can put in place that will touch on all of the positive sides of your child learning from home, and what you can look forward to instead of being petrified of. It covers time management, because that's a huge, huge issue today, is time management. It focuses on the mental and the physical tools that you can use. And then it focuses on that piece. That whole last module is all about emotional resilience and positive mindset for the whole family. So that is what the course is all about. It's not curriculum for actual school by any means, but it's a curriculum, it's a family course. It's a family curriculum to set you up in a positive way that you can enjoy the upcoming school year, whether that is virtual learning, e-learning, distance learning, A/B schedule, or homeschool, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Everyone is having some sort of educational time at home this year. And that's what this is for.
So it's for any family. It's not just for families that are like homeschooling. It's just for any family that has kids at home with parents that are working them through some sort of an education experience.
Exactly. So whether you are paired with a school or a teacher or some other third party, my oldest daughter does Liberty University Online. And so, whether you're paired with something like that, or it's your parents or your caregiver that is giving you that instruction and direction, whatever it is, these systems will be invaluable to you as you go forward. So.
Where were you? What was it, 3 years ago? I actually attempted to homeschool our oldest, Zach, and we made it about 8 months. And both of us threw in the towel. And I think the key that you mentioned there is systems. Those of you who know me with bank code, blueprint, all about systems and structure, is my last, as is my oldest son's last. System structure, don't do that. And I went into this experience going, oh yeah, it'll work. It'll be great. We'll flow through it. And now that I'm listening to this, I'm like, we did not have any of that. And it is so crucial and important. And even, we started a couple days ago with virtual online school from home. And I'm really looking forward to learning what you're talking about, because I can definitely see those are key fundamental places with which to start that success for the whole family. So.
And really what I looked at, I was like, no one can wing this, right? You can't wing it. When you send your child to a brick and mortar school, there's no teacher, I promise you, that comes into the year and says, oh, day one, we'll wing it, we'll get through it. Down to kindergarten, those incredible teachers are planning out and having these plans, and not just for reading, writing, arithmetic, but also for behavioral and community and what to do and enrich these kiddos. So there's systems in place. And so if our children are at home part of that time, we need to be able to bring some of those systems home, but it's going to look different than it did in the classroom, right? Because we're having home systems now instead of classroom systems. And so that's why it works no matter which way you slice it, that if you are having any sort of educational experience from home, this is what the systems that you can put in place. So
I love it. So if a family were to want to enroll in your course, how is it delivered? What does that look like? Tell us a little bit about the course itself, the logistics.
So yeah, my website is nellieharden.com, and you can go there and go to the WePossible courses and sign up directly through there. And it's delivered straight to you through an online course. So there's 4 modules, and it was really important to me. And there's about 17 lessons within those modules in total, not each module. Don't get overwhelmed. We're avoiding overwhelm.
You're talking to this like low systems girl. I'm like, what? No, I like that though. I mean, there's some good in-depth content within that.
Yes, there is. And it was important to me because every family is different. There's going to be some families that come into here and they're like, I want to do a lesson a week. Totally fine. There's going to be some other, parents that come in, or families that are like, I want to knock this out in a weekend. Great. And so I let you self-guide through, because I don't want anyone to feel limited. I know I've taken courses before that I'm like, oh, I just really want the next one because my next week is crazy and I want to do this. And so I wanted to make sure that families had the go-ahead to self-navigate through this. And so they get that. There is a beautiful workbook that comes along with it, which I have right here. And it's 25 pages. It guides you through the entire course. There's a beautiful resources page with live links into all the people that I follow at the end, and other resources of good systems that you can look into. And then also, every student that comes into the course, there is a live Zoom every Thursday at 2:00 that you can come into, and I'll be there. I'll do like a quick 5-10 minute lesson on something, but then it's a live Q&A. And so for all those parents that are like, yeah, I have this problem this week, what do you think? Then we can talk about that and workshop that. And so people can make sure that on Thursdays, they can be writing down their questions and know that they can be answered on that day. And so that's what the entire course looks like. It's the actual course, it's the workbook, and it's these Q&A Zooms on Thursdays for the students.
That's fantastic. It's like the best of both worlds. It's like you get to go through at your own pace.
Yes.
And you still get the live interaction as you're going through, which, is a benefit as well to be able to process that as you go through. So,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, well, I'm definitely going to be signing up. So I'll put the link in the comments section of here, or on this video. And yeah, so I'm just making sure I hit everything. Do you have anything last words that you want to say?
I just want to say I'm actually running a free masterclass on Saturday. And so I am, and it's something called priority mapping. And so before you go on a trip, before you go to a country you've never been to before, anything like that, you need a map, right? You can't just wing it. You can't just, you could, but you're going to get lost.
I try, yeah. But yeah, it's just not, the outcome is not always the best.
You're going to get lost. You're going to have some adventures you didn't intend, which is great if you're, backpacking through Europe, but maybe not so great if you're trying to actually have an education experience at home. Yes. And so priority mapping is really important. And what I mean by that, it's for kids that are in school. Right now, we have 56.6 million kids in the school system in America right now. 56.6 million, which to me is 56.6 million kids that are kind of lost right now as and they don't know what's going to happen next week, right? They are confused as to what's going to happen tomorrow. How is this due? How is this? So that's 56 million plus kids, and that's just starting at kindergarten. We have preschoolers that, increase that number too, and they're learning very much at this time as well. But anyway, so priority mapping, it's this Saturday at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, and what I'm going to do is really take you through how to take away all the stumbling blocks that could be in your way in the future. I'm going to talk about decreasing frustration, right? Taking away that patience chip, so you're not relying on your patience. I do not rely on patience. You will fail every time. I promise. I mean, you can be the most patient person in the world, but if you rely on that, you will break at some point. So we're taking away that patience chip. And we're going to be talking about setting healthy expectations and creating visibility and a clear path forward. So success is the inevitable. So that's what we're going to be doing on Saturday. Like I said, 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. So I can give you the link directly to that, and we'll be walking through that all together.
And that's a free masterclass on Saturday?
That is a free masterclass. And even if you, for whatever reason, you're dropping off the kids or running around or whatever, and you can't make that exact time, I will be sending out the recording to all the people that register. So
register and sign up.
Yes. Yep. So even if you can't exactly make that time, which I hope you can, I love a live audience to interact with. But even if you can't, I will be sending the recording out to the people that register.
Fantastic. So you guys, if you didn't get enough of a taste of Nellie and her heart and who she is, whether or not I like this masterclass on Saturday sounds amazing too, like much needed. Yep. Signing up for that one too. But if you want to get to know more of her and see her teaching style and how she, goes through this, definitely check out Saturday at a minimum. And I know that we're going to be going through her course as a family, and I encourage you to think about joining us. Perhaps we can do it together. I'm always good for accountability. So if any other families out there want to say,
hey, on Thursdays.
Yeah, it would be fun. We can hang out on Zoom with Nellie. Let's do it. So, well, thank you. So I am so excited. And we just randomly, I sent you a message over the weekend on something totally unrelated, and we got talking, and I am a firm believer that things happen for reasons. And I am so excited to not only, go through this course content and be a student of yours and all of your incredible experience, and definitely need help on the systems and the structure. I'm also really passionate about families, and I love what you're up to, and really look forward to seeing how this develops and grows for you, and will help spread the word and message as often as I can, because these kiddos right now, especially right now, our family lives can be so stressful, and we really need to work together, focus on those key 8 areas, because our kids are growing up way too fast. And the more we can focus on our family unit and giving the support and, structure, it's in my head right now. But no, I mean, we need to make this a priority, especially now more so than ever, to give our kiddos that stability and the security that they're probably not feeling, because I know I'm not feeling it most days either. And the more we can show up for them, the better. So Nellie, thank you so much for your time. Put that link in the comments, and reach out to Nellie, go check out her website. And I look forward to seeing you all on Saturday and on some Thursday Zooms coming up.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.